MPAS had done their bit to the extent that whatever we had financed have been fully liquidated within a short space of time.
Gambia Growth and Competitiveness provided support to MPAS for the Outgrower program, and because since last year the program has been progressing successfully, and I'm happy to see that this MOU they're going to sign today between MPAS and Reliance is going to at least complement our support to MPAS and also the outgrowers, the farmers, because the major constraint that has been realized since we started the outgrower program is providing inputs for the farmers, like the day-old chicks, because they don't have access to finance, and also in terms of getting their own funds to buy the day-old chicks.
The purpose of our visit today is twofold. Is to introduce our project, which is an integrated poultry scheme, where MPAS Poultry Processing Company would hatch day-old chicks, and will provide these day-old chicks to farmers, and then we will buy back the grown chicken from them, and then would process that. For the first time, the entire poultry value chain management is being done locally. We are going to produce on this farm in Farato the fertile eggs that have both moms and dad.
The MPAS Poultry Processing Company is a young and ambitious institution with approximately 100 staff members on its payroll. It has fertile ideas to move forward and create more opportunities for job seekers. Uminjai, Grts.
The Kombo North Special Settle Programs Task Force, headed by the Paramount CFO, who also doubles as the head CFO of Kombo North District, invites residents of Kombo North and the general public to clean up exercise they intend to carry out on Saturday 15th and Sunday 16th February 2014 in order to render the route from Banjul International Airport to the hotels clean and tidy in time for celebrations marking the 49th Independence Anniversary. The Paramount CFO and other task force members thank His Excellency the President, Chair Professor Alhaji Dr. Yehe Jammeh, government, departments, individuals, APRC supporters and officials, and all those who participated in the first settle for making it a resounding success. Well, time now to take our first break. We'll be back with news from outside the Gambia. Welcome back. The interim president of the Central African Republic is resisting calls to divide her country into two geopolitical entities. The suggestions come against the backdrop of a seemingly unrelenting vicious cycle of religious violence. We have more in this report.
First trip into the provinces since being named president of the country. Accompanied by Jean-Yves Le Drian, French defense minister, President Samba Panza arrived in Mbeki. The visit comes at a difficult time as more and more people are suggesting that the country be partitioned along religious lines, the Muslims in the north and the Christians in the south. Catherine Samba Panza came out strongly against this.
We will be strong and take the necessary measures so that no ideas about splitting the country gain ground.
Mbeki is located some 80 kilometers southwest of Bangui. Only 50 Muslims remain. 3,000 others fled the town, afraid of being massacred by anti-Balaka forces.
We spoke a great deal about the ex-Seleka. Now we are talking about the anti-Balaka. When they act like bandits towards the people, these are criminal acts. I don't hesitate to use the term, and they must be punished as such.
France has promised to use force to pacify the anti-Balaka militias and prevent the partition of the country. The goal is no doubt to put an end to what several humanitarian NGOs and UN agencies are calling religious cleansing.
There is an ethnic and religious cleansing taking place. and that must be stopped. There are people being killed, with massacres here and there.
And in yet another example of the terror that reigns in the country, on Wednesday in Bangui, a Congolese soldier from the international mission discovered a mass grave filled with bodies. They are expected to be identified soon.
At least 67 houses have collapsed and 1,000 others partly destroyed after a magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck China's sparsely populated Xinjiang region. And Taiwan's mainland affairs minister and his Chinese counterpart have been talking business. For more on these stories and others, we go with this roundup of news.
6.8 magnitude earthquake struck China's sparsely populated Xinjiang region on Wednesday. Authorities said that at least 67 houses had collapsed and more than 1,000 were damaged. No deaths have yet been reported. By Thursday morning, monitors had registered 739 aftershocks, the largest of them measuring 5.7 on the Richter scale. Taiwan's mainland affairs minister arrived in China's eastern city of Nanjing on Tuesday to meet with his Chinese counterpart for historic trade talks. Relations have been strained between Taiwan and China since the 1949 Communist Revolution, when China's government at the time relocated to the island. Mainland China regards Taiwan as its 23rd province. However, the Taiwanese president said he saw no urgent reason to address political issues at these talks, which are to continue until Friday. Brazilian police fired tear gas and rubber bullets at protesters in Brasilia on Wednesday. Nearly 15,000 people had joined a march of the landless workers movement. They are angry over the government's failure to enact promised agrarian reforms. Authorities said 2 protesters and at least 22 police officers were injured in the clashes. This morning, President Dilma Rousseff called a special meeting of her advisors to respond to the protesters. During his address to the Israeli Knesset on Wednesday, the head of the European Parliament, Martin Schulz, caused an uproar, prompting a walkout by several far-right lawmakers. Mr. Schulz had quoted a young Palestinian as saying that Israelis in the West Bank received 4 times as much water as Palestinians. Mr. Schulz had asked for a confirmation. According to a 2012 UN report, Israelis in the West Bank received 6 times more water than their Palestinian neighbors.
We now take a second break. We'll be right back. And before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of the day's headlines. Ankara and Banjul have signed a series of bilateral cooperation agreements cutting across a broad range of areas like defense and security, as well as education and agriculture. Lawmakers have decried the non-payment of millions of dollars in areas owed to the utilities giant NAWEC by local government entities. 3 people have been killed and several others injured as demonstrators had hit by skyrocketing cost of living and acute lack of security take to the streets of the Venezuelan capital Caracas and other major cities. And peacekeepers in the Central African Republic have discovered a mass grave containing the remains of people believed to be victims of what some international organizations are now calling religious cleansing. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Hi there, this is your primetime sports show on GRTS, and I am Hadija Haidara. Welcome to Sports Tonight. First, look out for what is coming in the show. Sports Tonight visits Gamtel's training ground as the telecommunication boys prepares to host the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces Football Club in the return leg of the preliminaries round of qualifiers in the CAF